YouTube. You're just joining us on YouTube. We always start the YouTube live stream a few moments before the session starts, just to make sure that everything's ready. And if you just bear with us a sec, we'll get everybody in and we'll get started very shortly. All right, Pie,
Yeah.
doing your morning yoga?
I'm in London.
Oh, are you?
I'm in Streatham.
Ah. Okay.
Poppies.
Yeah.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
Right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a brand new season of Teaching Live. It's great to see you all online. We've got, I think, about 15 classes involved this morning, which is great to see. Should make for a lively and fun session. So if you don't know me, my name's John Sutton. I'm the sort of chief cat herder. Because as those of you that have been in Teaching Live before will know that trying to keep Pie Corbett and David Mitchell organised and in line is a really tough job. And usually at the end of Teaching Live sessions, I have to go and lie down quietly somewhere just to recover. How are you this morning, Pie?
The cheek of it. Hey, I'm in peak condition. I'm in London, actually in Streatham. And yeah, I'm really good. Great to start a new series, and looking forward to what people come up with today. So I'm full of bounce and energy. Anything could happen. How are you, David?
I'm very well. It's a bit dull and dreary here in Chorley in Lancashire, but all the tech is working. I've got those people can't see, obviously, what I can see. I've got like multiple screens in front of me with everything set up, ready to go. My job is to get involved in the game a little bit there and also make sure things appear when they should appear from the children's side of things. So I'll be busy, looking forward to it as always, and excited to get going.
Okay, so the first 3 sessions we're doing are all about playful writing. And we're going to start by playing a game now. The difference between an abstract noun and a concrete noun. Concrete nouns are words, are nouns, are things that you can touch, are like concrete. So just looking around me here, I can see my phone. I can see books. I've got my glasses on. I can see a poster. I can see pencils. I can see scissors. These are all concrete nouns. Abstract nouns are a little bit different. They're you can't actually touch them. So a word like hope. Now, the hope. Now, the reason we know it's a noun is you can put the, a, or an in front of it. The hope. And the other test is, can you turn it into a plural? The hopes. So you could say the hopes that Mr. Trump has will soon be dashed. So the hopes, that's an abstract noun. Take fear. Is that an abstract noun? Can I put the, a, or an in front of it? The fear, and can I pluralize it? The fears that John Sutton has are not well founded. So it is an abstract noun. Now, John, I think it's probably helpful if we get the little thing up so everybody can see. Teachers, the bits in red in the teaching notes are worth, they're in red because it's good to have it in the children's books. So John probably can get those on the screen in a moment. But we're going to play a little game orally, first of all. So you don't need your computers. John's getting the thing up on the screen. And on the, actually, it says common noun, an abstract noun. So we've got our concrete nouns on the left, like a moon, a door, a footprint. You can touch all of these things. The abstract nouns are on the right, and you randomly put them together. So partner A might say, let's say ocean, the ocean of, and then let's say the ocean of greed. Ooh, the ocean of greed. And then partner B has to come up with an idea and extend it. So on the ocean of greed, I saw the last polar bear drifting on an on a tiny iceberg out from the north. So, David, are you going to be A or B?
I'll be A to start with.
Okay, and then after 2 minutes, John will warn everybody and we'll swap over. Let's just model a few. Obviously, you don't have to use the ones that are there, but start me off, give me one, and I'll try and extend it.
Okay, I've spotted a really nice one here. The stream of dreams.
Oh, stream of dreams. I could do in the stream of dreams. I'm going to do inside the stream of dreams, or by the stream of dreams. By the stream of dreams, I found a unicorn's silver horn, which was grated into tiny fragments of glittering dust. Okay, give me another one.
Okay, let's go with the Star of Greed.
Oh. On the Star of Greed, I captured. On the Star of Greed, I captured. Star of Greed, I captured a tree whose leaves burst into flame on the first day of spring. What you can see is I'm just inventing stuff. Now, underneath the grid, there are some more abstract nouns, and there's some more concrete nouns. So you might want to try using those, David.
Okay, let's go with the hedge of joy.
Ooh, David, if you not David, John, if you scroll down a wee bit, you'll also see this there. You can invent what you saw, heard, watched. So I'll use one of those. What was it? The bench of joy.
The hedge of joy.
All right. Okay. Under the hedge of joy, I noticed. So I've used one for Matt Littlest at the bottom. I noticed a hedgehog with spikes as hard as diamonds and sharper than a shark's teeth. Okay, now after 2 minutes, you swap roles over. John will tell us. So after 2 minutes, I'll be partner A, and I'm really going to set him up with a difficult one.
Deservedly so, Pie.
Yes, exactly. He was testing me too. So I'm going to go for the park of embarrassment.
I knew you were going to choose embarrassment. Okay, so I'm going to be in the park of embarrassment. I touched the pink blossom of a dying cherry tree.
That's quite an interesting one. I love doing this with David because you can see the cogs whirring as he does it.
Sounds like a cop-out to me, that one.
Yeah, you think, yes, he went all drifty, didn't he? He went drifty on us. I'll give him one more. Okay, so let's go for the bottle of justice. Justice means fairness.
Oh dear. Okay, the bottle of justice. So I'm going to go inside the bottle of justice.
Yep.
Inside the bottle of justice, I watched A politician telling the truth.
Mhm.
I'm going to leave it there.
Ah, okay. So I think everybody's got the idea, John. You're inventing sort of strange places and saying what happened there, what you saw or heard or noticed or found or listened to. So over to everybody. John, you're going to get something on the clock for us. 4
Yeah,
minutes.
I've got the clock ready, and then I'll go back to the this screen so that people have got the ideas in front of them. So you've got 4 minutes on the clock. After 2 minutes, I will tell you to swap over. So your 4 minutes is going to, when I press the button, will start, and after 2 minutes, I'll interrupt and swap you over. So 4 minutes on the clock, starting now. Okay. If you are partner A, now is your turn to be partner B. So please swap over. Okay, that sound signifies the end of the game. So please bring your attention back to the whiteboard or the screen or however you are watching us. And we will go to the TeachingLive website. So you'll see across the menu across the top, today it will say 9:30 a.m. session. So I'll click on there and that will bring up today's session page. As always, on that page, there is the YouTube live stream button, which you only need to use if your Zoom link fails or whatever. And underneath, we've got our activity buttons. So we'll start off with Padlet activity number 1. So I'm going to visit that page and hand over to Pie, who's going to tell us all what we're going to be doing.
Okay, so the idea is we're going to create a ship of stars. We're going to write about a ship of stars. And so to help us, down the left-hand side, I wrote a list of all the things that I could think of to do with ships. So we've got the hull. The hull of a ship is basically that sort of the main body of the ship. The mast, not all ships have masts, but the mast is the big sort of pole thing on which you get the sails. And the sails, of course, capture the wind. The wind blows into the sails and moves it along. Cabins, those are the little sort of rooms that people live in. Portholes, those are the circular bits, like little windows, but they're circular and you look out of them. They're called portholes. The tiller, that's the bit you steer with. It's like a wooden arm that moves in old-fashioned boats, the tiller. Then the deck is the floor, basically, which you stand on to look out over the sea. Nets, of course, they use nets in order to catch fish if they're going fishing. And then also to do with ships, you've got the sea and the ocean. Oceans are really, really big. Seas are a bit smaller, and you get lakes on land. Then you've got waves, of course. We've got the wind, the rain, snow, storms, thunder, coils of rope. Will often be coils of rope. Oars, so oars are those wooden things that they stick in the water in order to move the ship along. And then the rigging, those are the ropes that sort of hold the sails in place. So I made a list of all the things I know about ships, and then I made a list of things to do with stars. So I started with some verbs. Stars shine and twinkle and glitter and gleam and glow and glisten. They're often called celestial bodies. The stars are celestial bodies. And we all know what a body is. So they're saying the stars have little bodies, but these are celestial ones. They are beautiful and great and grand and somewhat mysterious and magical. Then you've got the planets, the suns, the moons, and they're a little bit ghostly sometimes. And of course, in the night sky, you've got darkness, but other ideas like shadows and reflections as well. And what do stars look like? I made a little list. You'll think of other things. They look like golden pins, like silver nails, like glittery eyes, like actual little pieces of glitter, like tiny fragments of light up in the night. And then I got, instead of fragments, fragment is a little bit of something, I've got slices, grains, dots, spots, freckles, speckles, all sorts of words that mean the same thing. And then I thought about the colours, silver, gold, white, albino, something that's an albino. You use that word for animals. So very rarely you get an albino animal. So you might get an albino fox, that means a white fox. So I've done a brainstorm, what I know about ships and ideas to do with stars. And this is the model that we're going to use. So you're going to write some sentences. If you look just below there where John is scrolling down, and they're all going to start in the same way. So everyone's going to write, capital letter, on the ship of stars, comma, and then you've got to come up with an idea, and you can use up bits from either side, plus your own thinking. I'll read you my ones. On the ship of stars, portholes glow, reflecting shadows across the dark waves. On the ship of stars, nets of silver thread are cast into the sea. On the ship of stars, heavenly glitter studs the sails. On the ship of stars, the ocean laps against the glistening hull. On the ship of stars, the deck is covered in the silver scales of fish, like petals fallen from the stars. On the ship of stars, the wind wraps the canvas sails in cobweb threads of invisible glitter. On the ship of stars, ropes become snakes of light. Remember your capital letter, your full stop, and notice after on the ship of stars, you get a comma. That's a little fronted adverbial, which you probably know about. It's actually a prepositional one. It's telling us where something happens. So on the ship of stars, I mean, you've got to come up with an idea. So on to Padlet 1, John.
I'm churning away here thinking, right, so I'm going to click on the Padlet, a little plus in the bottom. I'm going to put my name. Make sure you put your school name on, please. We always like to make sure we name check the school where you're writing from. I'm going to write, I'll start off with the bit that I don't need to think about, on the ship of stars. Comma. And then I'm going to look at my list. So oceans spread before it like huge velvet blankets. How about that, Pie? Is that okay?
Capital letter, full stop and comma.
Yeah, got my comma after on the ship of stars to make for my adverbial. And I've got oceans spread before it like huge velvet blankets. Quite happy with that. So I will, I'm a confident quail. I will submit that and it will go to approval for David to approve, which he has done.
I've done one as well.
And remember, if I want to edit it, I can click on the three dots and only on mine. It won't come up if I try to edit Ezra's. It won't work. So I'm going to hover on mine. I can click edit and my Padlet will come up again and I can repost it. So on the ship of stars, penguins become cheetahs chasing their prey. That's an interesting idea, Ezra, from Lancaster Road. I like that one.
Harry from Lancaster Road, I like your idea, but there's one thing that's missing, and you know what it is if you reread. So nip back and edit that one. We love it when people edit, but you've got a good idea there, Harry. Well done. Lydia, the water smashes up upon the sides. Now, that doesn't sound quite right. It's because you got on and upon. The water smashes upon the sides would be fine. So you could nip back and edit that one, Lydia. Well done.
Isabel from Scotforth, on the ship of stars, the tiller glittered in the ghostly sun.
I like that, but I'm wondering about the full stop that's missing. So you can nip back, Isabel, and do that one. Lovely use of language. And Bobby from Lancaster Road has got ghostly eyes gleamed bright as the wind whistles. And Ben and Matthew from Long Parish, the moon danced like a ballerina.
Oh, I like that one, Ben and Matthew. That's good. I'll give that one a like.
Fatima from Long Bolton
Emily
Parish, oars sway through the glistening beryl ocean. And beryl, it's that means, I think I'm right in saying, a very deep blue color. Now, Alfie and Ada from Lancaster Road, can you put a comma after your adverbial? On the bridge of danger, comma.
Thea from Dell, on the ship of stars, the moon glistens, making the sea shine. I'm kind of wanting you to extend that one, Thea, by using a simile. So on the ship of stars, the moon glistens, making the sea shine like something. I wonder if you can come up with a simile to extend that idea.
Abigail, on the ship of stars, the oars gently pulled through the smooth water, sending ripples across the reflected pinpricks of golden light. How about that?
Oh, that's great stuff. Really good, Abigail. I'm not sure which school you're from. HE.
Millie from Dell, on the ship of stars, I seen animals drinking milkshakes with ham sandwiches. It's a lovely idea. It should be I saw. That's one of those slightly annoying ones. It's I saw, but you can edit that, Millie, by going back, putting your cursor over the 3 grey dots in the top right-hand corner and edit it.
Milkshakes and ham sandwiches. Yeah.
Yes.
It's dear.
Elise from Finian. Help me, John.
Bingen pie. We go through this every year.
I know it's painful, isn't it? On the ship of stars, the heated air gleamed around me. It's a very unusual one. Callahan from Dell, on the ship of stop of stars. Now that doesn't sound quite right. So nip back and edit that so it makes sense. Callahan, you've got a nice idea, but it needs editing. Another one from
Ben from Lancaster Road.
Yeah.
He took my idea that on the ship of stars, and improved it. The squids were squirting. I like the squirting. The squids were squirting ink out, laying a black velvet cover over the ocean. I like that idea.
Esme's got the ocean laps against the glistening hull. It's a gentle one there.
Just going back to the squids one. Squids were squirting or squids squirted?
I think squid squirted.
Yeah, squid squirted, yeah.
Tighten it up.
Yeah.
Now, Darnia from Bolton Parish, on the ship of stars, the gleaming moon appeared through the ship full of special shaped stars. You could be a bit more descriptive there in terms of what were the special shapes? Were they diamond stars or triangular?
Yeah, Isla from Bolton Parish. On the ship of stars, sharks waited. I think waiting for their prey. If it's more than one shark, it will be their prey. Sharks waiting for their prey to jump off, double F, the plank. Quite like that idea. The idea of a plank and the pirates making the person jump off the plank into the sea, and the sharks waiting for their dinner.
That's lots of good ones. Thomas, I love your idea of the engines blaze like a firefly glowing of wonder. Ollie, the coils of rope slither like a slimy snake on the deck. And Jack, the hull shines and the mast glows brightly. Sails glisten in the night sky. The cabin glows like a chandelier. Now, I think chandelier is probably not spelt correctly, Jack, but I'm absolutely loving those lines that you've got there. Save them up because you'll be able to use them.
I like Theo from Lancaster Road's idea. The ship of, so he's, rather than being on the sea, he's in space. The ship of stars flew right past the moon, Mars, Jupiter, and even the sun. You need a full stop there because you've got a new sentence, Theo. But, comma, the light of the stars guided the captain the entire journey. I think for the entire journey, but that's great, Theo.
We got Lorne from Fingen on the ship of stars. Glistening star fragments rain down onto the seaweed covered deck of the great ship.
I can only apologise to the children of Fingen for Pie's inability to do this term after term.
I just can't get it. Wow, lots of great ideas coming, John.
We've got loads coming in. That's a really good start. Right, we will come out of the Padlet, go back to the session page. So go up to the top, 9:30 session page. We'll have a quick look at the audio challenge. Now, the audio challenge, got a brand new audio challenge page for the season. So I just thought I'd show you how to record the audio challenge. There's two simple ways of doing it. One is to use the Padlet. So you just click on the plus And if you click on the microphone, you've got an audio recorder built into the Padlet, which you can do. Now, you've only got 3 options to post here. You've got the option to post an audio directly. You've got an option to post the writing. We always like it when the audio is uploaded with your poem or your story, because people can read it as they listen to it, and that's helpful. And there's also the ability to post a link. So if you're having trouble using the audio recorder on Padlet, we recommend you use a website called Vocaroo, which is vocaroo.com, VOCAROO, and it's incredibly simple. You simply press the button, big red button in the screen, to start recording. Obviously, you need to have a microphone. And once your microphone is recording, it will record your words, and you just click pause, and then you click play. And it's not, and pause, and then save and share. And when you click save and share, you get a link here. Just copy the link, and that is the link. You go back to your Padlet and click plus and add link. And then if you paste that link, it will paste the Vocaroo into your Padlet for you. I'm not going to do that because I don't want a nonsense Padlet. So please have a go at recording your poems this week and posting them onto the audio Padlet, and we'll see if we can have a couple to play next time. One thing I would say is make sure you record the Padlet, your audio, in a quiet place, not in a noisy classroom, because the unfortunate thing with modern computers, the microphones are so sensitive that all the background noise overwhelms the sound of you reading. And quite often we'll have a really great poem, but we can't play it on the session because we can't hear it. Anything else about how you should read your poem when you're recording it, Pie?
Yes, remember expression. That's going to be important, isn't it? So you need to read it with good expression. And the other thing is not too quickly. When people do recordings, they get a bit nervous. So they tend to read at a massive pace, and then you lose it all. So well-paced, that means steady, plenty of expression, and really clearly. Say the words clearly. And in a moment, I'll read one of mine, and then you'll hear, well, I'll give it my best shot. But certainly, I'm not going to read it too quickly. I'll try to use expression and speak clearly. So let's go to Padlet 2, shall we, John?
Absolutely. Padlet 2.
Aha.
There you go.
So this is when I'm going to read my example. And what you're going to notice in the example is that I've now dropped the repeating line. I'm just piling up some of the ideas. So, and then there are various techniques which you can see listed there, which are basic writing techniques that we'll try and use, obviously, in our poetry, but also when we're writing prose. So we've got alliteration. Sometimes it adds to it if you alliterate, and that's when you repeat the same sound, not letter, but sound, close by. Then you've got similes with like and similes with as. So while you're writing, every now and then pause and think, could I do a touch of alliteration here, or shall I add a simile in with like or as? Then we got personification, and that might be very, very useful. And that's where you take something on the ship and bring it alive. So make it sound as if it's like an animal or a person. So the mast groaned, or the sails moaned, or the sails stooped down to touch the sea. And you make it sound as if the sails are alive. Then we got using hyphenated phrases. So I've got snow fur. So I put a hyphenated phrase, I put 2 words close together. So they become one. Kennings are like little riddles. They're great fun to do. So the Vikings, instead of talking about the sea, they used to talk about the whale highway. So you'd have to guess that means the sea, the kennings. And remember, name it. Name it is, instead of dog, you write Rottweiler. Though we're not going to be using name it probably on this one, but I don't know, you never know. Now I'll read you my poem, and you can hear, as I say, how I've now dropped the repeating phrase. Silence. So this is called The Ship of Stars. Silence haunts the deck. If you pause and listen, you too can hear the ghostly, ghastly whisperings of starshine snared in the sails. Celestial songs chime, an angel's feather falls like a comet through the night, a slice of cold light to illuminate the way ahead. At the tiller, the captain shakes his weary head as a lighthouse of fireflies surprises the way through grim rocks. The canvas sails clatter in the wind as if clapping hands. The portholes are pale moons. The cabin lanterns are tiny suns. The hull is a curve of coloured teak. Teak is a dark coloured wood. The sailors creak across the deck where starfish flounder. And with one eye on the telescope, they watch the night's speckled face glint. They watch the sea's freckles glisten. They watch the moon mouthing a prayer as the ship of stars sails towards the brightness of what dawn offers the world.
Mm.
And what I did, John, to do that, I just went through and I thought, well, I'll do a line about the deck. I'll do a line about a comet. I'll do a bit about the captain. I'll do the sails. I'll do the portholes, the cabins, the hull, the sailors, a telescope. So I just sort of went through the bits and strung it all together. So don't have to do the whole thing, but a single sentence or a couple of sentences you don't have to use on the Ship of Stars. That's the big difference. And try and use that little list of techniques. So take the first one, like alliteration, think, right, I'm going to write an alliterative sentence, and then take the next one. Think I'm going to do a simile using like. And remember, always read it through before you submit it, and check your capital letter and full stop. So the bone white, a nice little phrase there, made out of two words. It means it's white, white the colour of bone, the bone white light of the moon. Lovely, John. I'm getting there with you, John.
It's coming. It's slow. It's a work in progress, Pie.
It's a work in progress. It's taken about 10 years, but we are getting there.
We are. The bone white light of the moon illuminates the wreck.
We've even got an internal rhyme there with the white and the light.
We have. I'm very pleased with that phrase, Pie.
Of the moon illuminates the wrecks. Oh, that's interesting. No one's had a wreck yet. The wrecks whose
ribs.
We got wrecks and ribs.
Wrecks whose ribs stand up like.
Oh, we're getting a simile here now. Like gravestones.
In the churchyard.
I'm waiting to see if he does a full stop. He did.
Oh, I'm happy with that one.
Yeah. Well, what that shows everybody is that with a lot of practice over the years, even John Sutton can get there and knock off a good line. Great stuff.
I'm happy with that one, Pie.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Yes, great one. As Hannah, the sails danced and fluttered as the wind whistles through them, pushing the elven wood ship along. I'm liking the fact it's made of elven wood.
Now then, Elliot from Long Parish. The clouds drifted lazily across the sky like cotton candy. And the issue we have with that one is we've all heard that cotton candy phrase before. You've got to come up with an original simile, Elliot. See if you can come up with a different way of describing the clouds. It's difficult. I always find writing similes difficult.
Yeah, you've got to think of, what else is white and has that sort of fluffiness. But just let your mind drift and think what else is white and see if you can use that, Elliot.
Abigail, like a wailing child, the wind whistles through the great sails. The endless ocean stretches out for miles like a never-ending nightmare. Great stuff, Abigail. Loving that one.
Yeah, nice one, Abigail. Oh, we got starfish. Dell from Dell. That's Shay. It's shining golden starfish. Laying like it is sleeping while the waves cracked. I like the idea of the waves cracking, the starfish. There's a couple of things to tidy up in that, but it's a really good one. The jaw-dropping sandcastle falls as the waves hit onto the soft sand. Touch of alliteration there, and I'm liking the jaw-dropping. Now, Chloe from Scotforth, the rigging came alive like a writhing snake, curling round the captain and throwing him into the dark depths of the ocean.
Oh, that's great, Chloe. Really liking that one.
Yeah, nice idea.
Good bit of personification. That's a really good bit of personification, that one, Pie.
Yes. Ava for Bolton Parish. Well done, Ava. Like a pool of never-ending darkness. I'm liking the way a couple of people have started the sentence with a simile, with like the da 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 da, and then Ava, you've got the comma in the right place. The monster's eyes burned with the flame of anger, a feral beast running wild, a threat to humanity. Now that threat, you've got starting with an F. I think you mean the one that starts with TH, a threat, TH. REAT, but I'm loving the whole thing. Sophie from Scotforth, you've got white as fluffy clouds. That's the same as the cotton candy. We've heard that one before. So really push yourself, Sophie. See if you can come up with something slightly different that's new and that is your own one. Munro and Beth from Long Parish, the stars mirrored the glimmer of the fish's shimmering scales, creating a breathtaking tapestry of light in the dark waters. Wow, pretty good.
Ben from Lancaster Road, the orange light of the jack-o'-lantern illuminated the ballroom in the ship for the majestic show. I'm not sure about the last phrase for the majestic show, but the first bit is really, really good. Illuminated the ship. I think maybe a simile there, Ben. Illuminated the ballroom in the ship light rather than for the majestic show.
Well, here's an interesting one. Lancaster Road, Dominic, take what you need, not what you want, like the sky floating above, as well as the sky. Another thing that floats is the lost, forgotten boat in the sea. There's lots of wonderful things like fish and corals swaying through the water. Needs a bit of tightening up, but I like that opening you've got there, Dominic. Well done. Well done, Sophie. I like your ferocious, fearing storm. It's an interesting way of phrasing it. And Uche, dragons became glowing snakes. Abigail, again, I'm liking your dreary depths. Touch of alliteration there. See if you can do one with a simile, Abigail. Theo from Lancaster Road, that's an interesting idea, Theo. You might want to extend that when you get to do your blog.
It is, yes. I was looking at that one as well.
And Elliot from Long Parish, the clouds drifted lazily across the sky like shadows of forgotten thoughts. How about that, John?
Very good. That's a really good. I like that beats cotton candy, Pie.
It does.
And I wish I could have thought of something as clever as that as well. Right, we better come out of the Padlet and we will go to the session page. As ever, if your Padlet has not been published, we don't let David out for morning play until he has finished moderating all the Padlets that have been posted. So David is hard at work in the background while we carry on, regardless, and he's busy moderating. So we'll have a look at the gallery. Now, the gallery, as you can see, we've got a brand new gallery for this term. It's blank. If you click on the plus, you've only got two options now. You've got the camera option to use your device as a camera, and you've got the upload option if you've saved your either a picture or you've done a piece of digital art or something to upload it that way. So those are the only options. So I'll now go have a look at the teacher notes Pi. What is the
Keep going.
audio
There you
challenge?
are. Go on number 7, one above it.
There we go.
Right. Draw a boat. Well, I've gone for something very, very simple here, John, and it may be that as we've done in the past, people often produce things that are much more elaborate. But I went for a simple boat, started in pencil, just got the outline of the hull, did the wavy bit, got the deck in round the other side, then got the planks in, got the mast in, basic sail shape, and then got those lines in, little star on the top because it's the ship of stars. So doing it in faint, first of all, so I can get the proportions right. And then, now this one I did with, as you can see, I just did with pencil crayon. If you've got a good set of felt tips, you're going to get a brighter color. Could do it in watercolor, but remember to let it dry, otherwise you're going to get it smudging from one thing to the other. But it's quite a nice, soothing thing to do, and it's the sort of thing that everybody can do. It's not artistically hard. Choosing your colors so that you make it look very joyful or scary or dark and dangerous. So you could just use shades of blue there in the sail, for instance, different shades of blue. It's up to you, of course, what you produce. I went for a rather jolly little boat, I think. So quite an easy one, John. Everyone could have a go at that, I should think.
I would think so. Your boat doesn't have to be it could be a wreck. It could be all sorts of any sort of boat you would like to do. And it can be uploaded to the Padlet for next time, and we'll hopefully have a few boats. You can do that in your own time at home, or you can do it at school if you have some finishing off time. Not too challenging a one for an art activity this week. Nice and simple. But that is the gallery challenge, and hopefully you will get some. We'll get some to display for next time. So we will now have a look at today's blog challenge.
Okay, well, here we go. And actually, we'll have a look also in the at the teacher's notes, because I put a couple of children's examples. I'll reread mine. The ship of stars. Silence haunts the deck. If you pause and listen, you too can hear the ghostly, ghastly whisperings of starshine snared in the sails. Celestial, that means heavenly, celestial. Celestial songs chime. An angel's feather falls like a comet through the night. A slice of cold light to illuminate the way ahead. At the tiller, the captain shakes his weary head as a lighthouse of fireflies surprises the way through the grim rocks. The canvas sails clatter in the wind as if clapping hands. The portholes are pale moons. The cabins are tiny suns. The hull is a curve of coloured teak. Sailors creak across deck where starfish flounder, and with one eye on the telescope, they watch the night's speckled face glint Watch the sea's freckles glisten. Watch the moon mouthing a prayer as the ship of stars sails towards the brightness of what dawn offers the world.
So I like that poem, Pie, and there's a couple of things about it that I wanted to point out.
Yep.
It's first of all, it's just basically it's just description. It's
Yes.
not trying to tell a story. So this is a poem. It's not trying to tell a story of what the ship of stars is doing, where it's going, what it means, any of that. It's just describing the ship of stars. So don't get distracted by trying to tell a story through your poem. The other thing that I liked about the poem is there's no attempt to make it rhyme. And I think that's really important.
Yes, you'll go wrong if you try and make it rhyme. It won't work.
I think there was I think we did a demo session last week, and then one of the two of the children tried to make their poems rhyme. And as a result, what started off really, really well, sort of came to pieces as they just tried to make lines work because they rhymed rather than they made the poem work, if that makes sense. So I really like that poem, Pie. It's loads and loads of images, in just painting lots and lots of images in your mind. So let's have a look at the
if we look at the notes, John.
Yes, I'll just go back to the
there's a couple of examples I put in by previous people. You have to go up.
Gone too
Those
far.
are teacherly things. It's around there. That's me. It's on the next one. Right. For some reason, it's squidged together, but this was somebody, year 6, called The Boat Made of Stardust. The boat made of stardust floats over the echoing waves as living stars jump onto the boat, hitching a moonlit ride. Celestial bodies are concealed, that means hidden, under towering piles of silver and gold. Delicate grains hiding cracks in the floorboards of the boat. Heavenly particles hang from cobweb threads like grotesque decorations. Bejeweled stars glisten in the moonlit sky and reflect on the silver-studded surface of the boat made of stardust. That's a cracker.
Yep, that's super duper. That one, Pie. Really like that one.
And the boat made of stardust below. This is an interesting one, John, because it is Robert from Chalford Hill, which is a school down the road from me. So this will have been a writing workshop I ran in the school. And this one he didn't do as a poem, so either long lines or short lines in a pattern on the page. He set it out rather like like an ordinary piece of writing, like a story, but it isn't a story. Sleeping stars glow on the cabin door, heaving with life. Sprinkled stardust scattered on the floor, gleams like cosmic particles from heaven. The starlit night gazes upon its reflection in the whirlpool's green-blue depths. Crashing comets are the souls of the atmosphere. Whispers of the universe crouch, half concealed on the shadowed mast, tugging at the still sea air. Dipping and rippling on patchy waters, glistening moon rays ride with the echoing waves. Fragile grains whip the sail, the stars dangling overhead puncture the gentle night. A seeping darkness in the hull smothers all senses, while elementary dust watches from the wise heaven. The galaxy blinks, a living eye coaxed from its deep slumber. Something is plucked from its depths, and all the hints of life drain out of the bright worlds that are stars. Silence.
Wow, that's amazing. I really love the line, whispers of the universe, crouch half concealed on the shadowed mast.
It's a great bit. And the galaxy blinks, a living eye. I mean, that's a big thought, isn't it? So very different, laid out very differently, but you've got that very condensed description and playing around with the words and the ideas. So
Yeah, I'd go back to the Padlet 2.
Yeah.
and look at these list of techniques that Pie's listed there.
Yeah.
And see if you can
Use some of those.
Some of those to, go and treat it almost like a tick list, if you like. Yeah, I've got a simile in. Yep, I've got some personification in, and so on. In your poem, let's see what we can come up with. Now, to actually post the poem on the blog challenge page, there are some writing tips, first of all, which we'll go through because it's the first one of the season. Always check your work before submitting. That almost goes without saying. Type your work into a separate document. So you can type it straight into the form, but we don't recommend it in case you run out of battery or the internet goes down or whatever. Do it separately. Draft it in a book first, even, and then copy and paste it into the box to submit it. Don't use colored text in your poem because it's really hard to read on screen. Don't use emojis and text speech. An important one, don't use the space bar to move to the next line when you're using a word processor. When you're doing poems, always use the return key, the enter key, to go to the next line of the poem. Otherwise, the formatting will be all over the place on the page. And stick to the task. If your poem's not, or your story's not about what we've asked, we won't publish it. So, title of your poem, come up with your own title, please. Your first name in the box, and then paste your poem. Now, the list of schools are not this term's list. So we were just making sure that everybody was joining. I will sort the list of schools out for this afternoon's, for this term's session, after this session, so that the list will say, until it says S13 and your school name, don't fill it in. So it'll be probably this afternoon. The list of schools taking part this term will be on that form for you. But it's going to take you a little while to get your poem in order. So that's how you post your blog challenge. So if we go back to the session page, always go back to the Padlets and read them, because this it's actually quite a challenging one for the first one of the season, Pie, I might say. But there are loads of brilliant ideas in the Padlets. And you can go back and you can squirrel up ideas. You can pick lines out. You can think, I could improve that line and make it your own. So there's loads of ideas on the Padlets for you to include in your poems. And we will see what you come up with. What do you think, Pie?
Well, I agree with you. It was a difficult one. But what always surprises me about working with young writers is they rise to the challenge. There were lots of great ideas there. Just watch out for the cliche. The cliche is when you do things that we've heard before, like clouds like cotton candy. So just watch out for that. And it doesn't have to be hugely long to be effective. So that's one of the beauties of poetry. It can be quite short and still have a great effect. So looking forward to reading what you've done. I thought it was a cracking opening session. David, how were we on things like capital letters and full stops?
It was really encouraging, to be fair. I was expecting a flurry of posts without capital letters, full stops, but we got there. There were a few. But I think people were editing them as well, which is always good. So just one thing in the future, if you see that you've written your sentence on a post-it and it's not appeared, there could be something I'm waiting for you to edit, like a capital letter or a full stop. Go and edit it. It will come back to me. I shall put it on.
Great. Okay. Well, well done, everybody. Break time now. So it's bye from me.
It's bye from me.
And it's bye from me. Well done, everyone.
So we'll see you next week, same time for week 2 of Teaching Live. Bye-bye.
Bye.